Hi guys, Coach Josh here. Just wanted to give a little bit of a video about what I'm hopefully going to be seeing you guys running this year with your junior teams in the South region. So the bit I want to look at focusing on is our 4-out spacing principles and how we build dribble drive and how we can add in some sort of screening actions and teaching actions in a progressive manner. So to start off with, I'm hoping you're using 4-out spacing using this sort of 6 spots. So we've got our 2 corner spots, our 2 wing spots and our 2 slots. Now you might also use the runway area, which is the area between the wing and the 45, this sort of area here. But to start off with, guys, just focus on those 6 spots. And I'm going to primarily start with our inside nominated players. So we don't want to have post players in junior level. We want every player to experience playing every position. So we nominate a player. So we've nominated a player to start opposite the ball in the slot. And these are just numbers to represent 5 players, but they're not representing positions, because we want all of our players bringing the ball up, passing the ball, dribbling the ball, shooting the ball. We don't want positions, okay? So hopefully you're using dribble drive concepts to initiate your half-court offense. You might be drive and pitching here. You might be drive and pitching here. And our inside player is always moving opposite the ball. So we'll give you a very clear example. If we have driven here to the middle of the floor and we are looping over the top, we would be looping underneath with the hope that our defender is going to be drawn towards the ball and we just have a little drop down pass here. And you'll be surprised how often that happens, because you're asking the corner defender to come an awful long way. And what we should see on this penetration is the clocking. So as we're lifting, our defender has to pay attention, which pulls the help away from this defender right here. And you'll be surprised, just by emphasising paint touches and the inside player either looping underneath or just lifting up if the drive's going to the baseline, how much advantage you would actually get. Now I want to build in some principles, okay? Or other teaching elements. So once you've nailed your sort of dribble drive principles, here's some other elements you can add in. So you might want to add a single exchange action. So after any slot to slot pass here, we're simply going to exchange spots and we're going to move opposite the ball. That exchange removes what would be the nail defender. So the defender guarding the wing here has to cut, and just before that person's lifting, you create a driving lane at the top right there. That is a key part of what we're trying to focus on. And again, we move opposite the ball. If the defender helps, we can just drop down. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about screening and how you implement single screen actions and maybe double screen actions. So to start off with, guys, again, ball in the slot. We're going to pass the ball to the wing, and we're going to start by a back screen. It's harder to guard than a down screen, all right? So our 5-man or our inside player is going to simply lift, and here we're looking inside. We might lift to provide a bridge, and now all we've done is interchanged our inside player. So now your rule might be we're going to play dribble drive, but any time there is a slot to slot pass, we're going to back screen the passer in. The defender, often least paying attention to what is going on, is going to be the defender on the passer. You'd be surprised how often you're going to find an open player just simply with a give and go scenario. You'll also be amazed how open the screen is going to be, because as they're paying attention to the high percentage scoring area here, you'll find the screener can open, and that's where you can develop, screen and open and create almost also continuity on the outside. So dribble handoffs, reversing into ball screens, those types of things, okay? The next thing we want to look at is the progression for that back screen, okay? And this is going to add a few more layers to it. So this could be something you'll be doing near the end of the season, or if you've got a 2-year age group, it would be the sort of stuff you might be looking in the second year, okay? So now we've made our slot to slot pass, and we are now going to set 2 back screens. So we're going to lift to the elbow, we're going to screen on the block, and we're going to send our player all the way through here. So we might have a wing to corner pass, but on this safe catch here, the second we've gone through, we're now going to set a back screen on the first screener. So now what you're going to end up with is the ball here. Got 5 on the elbow where they set the screen, the 4 on the block. We're now going to set a back screen here and an open up here. So we're either going to have an inside pass, We can get the corner to lift again for that bridge pass, or we can pass to the screener and play out of that. So that is a progression of a back screen action, and you can do exactly the same with a down screen action. So you might, for example, call that set back, back 1, back 2 as you progress it, okay? Here, so we set a slot to slot pass, and we go and set a down screen, okay? And that could be down 1. We're working on the down screen action. There's so much you can do with the down screen, because you can work on denying the back screen. So you show and you cut through and the screener peels back. That's one action you could work on. You could work on the curl and the pop. So there's lots of things you could work on there. The next element, guys, is adding the T screen. So we make our slot to slot pass here, and we simply set our down screen, and we set a second screen, a screener action, okay? So we're adding 2 screens to that section now. So what you're ending up with now, guys, is out of the same formation, using some keywords. So for example, back for back screen, down for down screen, you can start to build up your half-court offenses with the same formation and the same dribble drive principle. So the next step for you guys is to be able to add in a single screen action. And if that hasn't created advantage, you revert back to your dribble drive concept. So the same with any of these actions. If you haven't created your advantage, how quickly can your group get into your dribble drive principles to keep the dominoes effect? So if you haven't heard of the dominoes effect, it's obviously you want to create an advantage to get the defense disrupted, the defense moving in rotation. And the dominoes effect is used by utilizing further dribble penetration, further passing concepts. The defense is never allowed to recover, and you create that dominoes effect where they're constantly falling down and not able to recover. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an insight on how you could build up your 4 or 5 out motion ideas to start involving single and double screen actions. There's of course other elements you can add into these things, you know, dribble handoffs, ball screen actions, but right now for the moment I just want to look at more the basic progressions and how you can use a similar alignment and progress as your players are ready.